Ryan Mitchell had finally purchased a beautiful 4,400-acre birch forest. The land included mature birch trees, maple groves, peaceful trails, and a small woodland cabin. Owning the forest had been a lifelong dream. He planned to preserve it for future generations. Early every morning, Ryan inspected the forest trails. The woodland remained peaceful and carefully maintained. Everything appeared exactly as described during the purchase, until one unexpected discovery changed the day. Ryan discovered several people tapping maple trees throughout the forest. Metal buckets and collection lines had already been installed. No one had asked for permission. He immediately decided to investigate. The sap collection system stretched across dozens of trees. Everything appeared professionally organized. Ryan realized this had likely been happening for some time. He wanted answers before taking any action. Ryan visited the nearby HOA clubhouse. He politely asked who had authorized the maple tapping. Diane Foster introduced herself as the HOA president. She answered without hesitation. Diane explained that residents had collected maple sap for many years. She believed the HOA had the right to continue. Ryan calmly asked if anyone had confirmed the property ownership. The conversation became increasingly serious. Ryan presented the original deed and survey maps. The documents clearly identified the forest as private property. Several homeowners quietly reviewed the maps. Diane remained unconvinced. Diane handed Ryan an official HOA notice. She insisted residents would continue collecting sap. Ryan quietly placed a notice inside his folder. He planned to verify every legal detail. Ryan met with attorney Laura Bennett that afternoon. Together, they reviewed decades of property records. Every document confirmed the same ownership history. The legal evidence appeared complete. Laura compared historical surveys with modern county maps. Every record showed the forest belonged entirely to Ryan. Nothing indicated shared access rights. The documentation remained consistent. Ryan requested an independent land survey. Emily carefully measured each boundary marker. The results matched every official county record. The property lines were unmistakably clear. After receiving complaints, Sheriff Collins visited the property. He listened carefully to both Ryan and Diane. His goal was to understand the facts. Everyone presented their documents. The sheriff carefully reviewed every page. The official records consistently identified Ryan as the owner. Nothing supported the HOA's claim. The facts became increasingly clear. Diane called an emergency HOA board meeting. She encouraged the board to continue supporting the maple tapping. Several directors questioned the legal risks. The discussion became more cautious. Ryan stood quietly as the evening sun illuminated the forest. The woodland remained exactly as he had purchased it. He trusted that careful preparation and documented facts would guide the next steps. The biggest chapter of the story was still ahead. Sheriff Collins carefully compared every official document. The county records matched Ryan's deed exactly. No evidence supported the HOA's ownership claim. The legal facts remained consistent. Diane gathered residents for another discussion. She explained why she believed the maple tapping should continue. Some homeowners supported her position. Others began asking difficult questions. Ryan met Laura to organize every piece of evidence. Historical surveys were placed in chronological order. Every document reinforced the same ownership history. Preparation became their greatest advantage. Laura compared modern records with historical surveys. Every map showed identical property boundaries. The woodland had always remained private. The legal record was remarkably consistent. Ryan carefully documented the maple tapping operation. Each photograph recorded the location of every collection line. He organized the evidence by date and location. Accuracy mattered more than emotion. Ryan respectfully introduced himself to residents. Many believed they had permission to collect sap. He calmly explained the official property boundaries. Several people appeared genuinely surprised. Several homeowners carefully reviewed the documents. Most admitted they had never seen the official records. Questions replaced assumptions. The atmosphere became noticeably quieter. Diane called another emergency board meeting. She encouraged the HOA to continue defending its position. Several directors questioned the increasing legal expenses. The room became divided. The board carefully studied every county map. Several members realized the forest boundaries were clearly marked. Confidence slowly disappeared. The legal situation became more difficult to defend. Ryan improved security throughout the property. Clear signs marked every forest entrance. Trail cameras documented activity along the roads. Everything was recorded professionally. New survey markers were installed throughout the property. Sheriff Collins compared them with official county records. Every location matched perfectly. The boundaries became even clearer. Independent surveyors completed another detailed inspection. Their measurements confirmed every previous survey. The property boundaries never changed. The documentation became even stronger. Ryan quietly reflected on everything that had happened. The forest had been exactly as described when he purchased it. He remained focused on protecting the property responsibly. Patience continued to guide every decision. Laura organized every document into a complete legal file. Historical records were carefully indexed and cross-checked. Nothing depended on assumptions. Everything relied on documented evidence. A certified legal notice arrived at the HOA office. Diane immediately recognized the law firm's letterhead. The disagreement had formally entered the legal process. The next steps would take place in court. Diane carefully reviewed every page of the filing. The documents described Ryan's ownership in great detail. Several board members became increasingly concerned. The legal challenge was now unavoidable. Ryan watched the sunset over the colorful forest he had worked hard to protect. Every official record supported the same ownership history. With careful preparation complete, he was ready for the next stage of the dispute. The courtroom would determine what happened next.